Jeffrey, your MEGA65 looks squashed.
Are you leveling up with the Jeffrey? 'Cause the Jeffrey is leveling up with you.
Let's boot up the machine, holding the no scroll key. Ding, 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 ding. This screen, guys, already weird, right? The borders, look at the borders, guys. Jesus, what is happening? There's like a big black box at the top, there's a small border on the bottom, and the left and the right are like medium-sized, like in between. Strange. Maybe they fixed it in the latest core, Jeffrey. Good idea, guys. Let's check it out. Kibo, who put me on the Scum engine thing, where we played Maniac Mansion, remember? He pointed out there are like nightly builds. We can update the core to the latest 0.97 that is still in production. Yes. So these things, this one is from 2025, 04 April 22. It's now the 24th that I'm recording this. I don't know when this video goes live, but hey, I grabbed a thing that is less than 2 days old. They probably release a new one soon. So it's cool. We can keep track of the development as time flies on, goes on. That's why also why Jeffrey puts it in slot 7. I'll keep the stable core running in slot 1. Stable previous version. So we can test this and see if the aspect ratio has been fixed. Spoiler, it's not. But hey, flash slot Jeffrey. Okay, Shift F8. I loaded the core, it's in slot 7. You have to double check these things, right? Loading the core now. Hey, as time goes on, we soon get some flashing going on in the borders, and really now you can't unsee it anymore, so you will see like this big thing. I do wonder why they did it like this in the setup script, in the setup thing. Why is it so out of whack here? That's weird. Let me tell you what is going on though. So I have an HDMI signal. I have a full HDMI display thing. Let me show you in editing what I'm seeing on my monitor. So that is the normal output of the MEGA65. What I do is like I squeezed it like that to make it the 4:3 for you guys, and I use the Commodore 64 core as an example, because that one does a 4:3 aspect ratio with different borders, and we'll get to the Commodore 64 core as well in this video. So then it's sort of 4:3-ish, but also very squashed still, because the MEGA65 has these weird borders. But I know this is intentional, guys. So we'll go over this while the core is flashing, and then soon we'll boot up into the Commodore 64 screen, you know, that everyone loves. And we'll show we compare things to the NTSC and the Commodore 64 core. And yes, I know I had a gripe as well with the aspect ratio as well recently. I forgot that I actually checked into this one already when I got my machine for the first time. I got my R3 machine, and the first thing I noticed, like, weird borders. Went to check on the Discord and they were like, oh yeah, that is intentional. I remembered. But yeah, lately on the channel, with also friends of the channels in the comments, boot up slot 7, Jeffrey, are like, oh, the aspect ratio is all wrong. Yeah, guys, I know, it's weird, man. Let's make a comparison. And I'm doing my duty now. I'm making the comparison, but I'm already telling you the guys are not going to change this. So here we also have it. The borders are weird, man. I forgot. There's like a color thing you can use, right? It's like background. You can do like background in this machine, right? Background 0. I should do border 0. I think you can do this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's the same as the classic way, poking. And now I forgot the notation you normally do with C64 is like the decimals, right? And I only know the hexamals now because I'm doing assembly. So Jeffrey is messing it up completely. Now this is the hexamal address for border, yes. And then we do this, and then we poke it to 1 now. See, it's wide, and 0. Here, same thing, border 1, border 0. Yes, awesome, Jeffrey. So this is the Commodore 65 way of doing it. This is basically also the Commodore 65 way of doing it, because we can do the hexamal notation if you know the 5, 6, 8, whatever value. Jeffrey doesn't know right now. Doesn't matter. You can see the border now. It's a bit big on the top, a bit big on the bottom, medium-sized on the sides, right? They're actually quite small compared to the size of the screen, I have to say, the left and right. Also interesting. Now, why it is intentional, it is because this thing needs to be pixel perfect, that's one thing. And the other thing is there are that many scan lines, raster lines, on the PAL version. It's actually rendering always. On a CRT screen, you can modify the screen. I have an old monitor there for Commodore. You can like turn the knobs, stretch the image a little bit, and it still stays pixel perfect. Just the aspect ratio changes, and everyone has like more square setup, you know. Anyhow, let's go to the Co64 mode. Yeah, that's nice, right? Let me show you NTSC. This is always a thing. NTSC always looks a little bit different, but it also has less scan lines. So that's why the MEGA65 shows it correctly, and also square then by design. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's making sense. Jeffrey never makes sense. So on the top right you see videos. It currently says PAL 50. Also take note of the font, how it looks squashed, and the borders. You can still make out the top and the bottom border. Jeffrey presses V, switch PAL 50 to NTSC 60. I have to wait for my lock-on signal. You guys as well probably. There it is. See, the screen stretched a little. The font is by better. The borders are thinner if we resume. And here we go. We have a nice square box. Although the top and the bottom, are they different? No, it's hard to say now. Like we had in the setup, you know, the top border was really bigger than the bottom border. And I said we will take a look at the color thing, and then we didn't. Well, you guys maybe did, I was blaming. Maybe you should load up something. I pulled a graphic. I just pulled the latest graphic from CSDB. I think it was pulled from revision 2025 or uploaded or shown there for the first time. I need to mount it first though. So if I reset the machine, do I go back to the same core? I'm going to assume so. Mount. I called the disk for ease of access like this, but normally the disk is called the final answer. Oh, I spoiled which graphic this is. For those who have seen revision 2025, I've seen little bits on the Discord, not following these things. Sorry, I'm not really a senior in that way, right? Let's take a look at the directory contents, of course. Onslaught 2025 we quickly saw as the directory name, so peoples from the Onslaught group are behind this. One peoples, I think. The final answer, loading it up. The Kid Jeffrey way. I could have Asterix loaded this, of course, Reiner, I know. Reiner, friend of the channel, who also bitched about the aspect ratio, yes. The answer is 64. Of course, a reference to the answer is 42. That's the answer of life, the answer of the universe. It's in this hiker's guide to the galaxy or something. I think it's a book that Jeffrey never saw. But the answer 42, of course, was an internet phenomenon thing already since the early days of the internet, that Jeffrey was also on there. And this thing was coming about in the IRC chats and whatever. IRC? IQ? Whatever. Yeah, cool pic. With squash borders. You see, the top border is a bit blending in with the pic, but hey, you can see the bottom border, right? Same thing is happening on the top, of course. Can go to NTSC 60. Yeah, I'm showing you these things, and sadly this is what we have to do it with. So unless you can do the thing in NTSC 60, then you can have this nice square thing going on, which is pretty cool. Yes, pretty nice. I like it. But I bet you a lot of games don't work like this. At least the ones designed for PAL, and most of them are designed for PAL, of course. So, yeah. This is what we have to do it with. Okay, so boot up the Commodore 64 core, they have it handled. Yeah, like I said, it's an intentional thing with the MEGA65. For developers, so they can see all the scan lines. And just, yeah, if there's something rendered there, you can technically render stuff in that border with your sprites and everything. So then the MEGA65 will show it. The C64 for MEGA65 core, it will probably lose. We can now do the 5.1, right? Yeah. Lose some of that image if it is cut off improperly. But yeah, everyone sort of expects this. This is what I mean. This is perfect. Oh, perfect. I think there's a bit of a, how to say, artistic freedom here. Is it? They also tried to make this one pixel perfect, I'm going to assume. Is the problem with the HDMI signal and this one being 4.3 already before going to HDMI? Because let me show you what I'm seeing full screen with the Commodore 64 core. It is an HDMI signal with really big black borders on the sides, and the image is in this nice aspect ratio. This is the way to do it, I guess. This is lovely. But it's probably not showing all the lines, like I said. Probably they cut off some. I think. It is an educated guess, I would say. Let's boot up that same thing. Now we'll asterisk load, yes. Out. I technically don't have to comma one it. It's a little basic thingy. It will load in the basic address. It has a little basic thingy, as you say, like one row probably. Let's take a look at the listing, what the Onslow guys put there. It will be a sys command, for sure. Calling a little code in assembly. Not in assembly, in machine language, in binary notations, written with assembly or a tool or whatever. That then renders the picture on screen using your VIC2 registers. Yes. And this is what it looks like on the core. Now the colors, Jeffrey had his Pepto colors still installed, as you noticed. Mine is a bit more darker, less saturated than this, and this is less saturated than the original MEGA65. Something to say, because Reiner was also bitching about the colors on my MEGA65 now being too dark. He specifically called out Hero being a problem. I don't think Hero runs on the MEGA65 though. Anyhow, what do you guys think? Is this the best colors? Is this the best situation? Is this the best of all worlds? Does the Commodore 64 for MEGA65 does it correctly in all regards? Yeah? But yeah. Jeffrey still likes also to operate his MEGA65 as a Commodore 65, right? That's what Jeffrey just likes. But yeah, hey, that's just me. Hey, guys, this is the aspect ratio situation. Nothing we can do about it. I'm sure the developers are not going to change anything about it unless they come up with something like a setting in the freezer, maybe. Hey, that is an idea, developers, if you're watching. Setting in the freezer. Stretch it a little bit, because we don't care about pixel perfectness or whateverness. Could be a thing, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's impossible. Who knows? I'm not behind the core. Hey, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Cheers.
Are you leveling up with the Jeffrey? 'Cause the Jeffrey's leveling up with you!